Hello everyone, let's get started. And before I get started, just to confirm if I'm audible and visible to everyone. If yes, do confirm in the chat box AVC. AVC for audio video clear. If you can see me, if you can hear me, do confirm in the chat box AVC. AVC for what? Audio video clear. Okay, all right. Thanks for confirmation. Okay, so with this note, let's get started. First, let me set the context. What is this session all about? So this session is all about if you are someone who is willing to transition in the product owner job role, what exactly you should be doing? What should be your step-by-step journey? That is what we are going to cover. We are going to talk about in the next 120 minutes, that is next 2 hours. Okay. So this is what is the main context for this workshop. And with this, without wasting time, let's get started. Let's go on the core of this workshop over here. Okay. And for this, here we go. So first thing first, what exactly we're going to do is we'll talk about first thing first is who is product owner, what is key responsibilities of a PO. Then after something on the agile aspect, we'll talk about and then career roadmap. So if you are someone who is willing to transition in the PO, in the product owner job role, so what should be your career roadmap? And yes, if you are someone who is having any specific questions, you again will be doing the specific Q&A as well at the end of this workshop. So yes, I would say certain ground rule, a working agreement to make this session much more impactful. Number one is make sure when you have joined the session to get the maximum value, stay till the end. Then only you will able to get the maximum outcome of it. Number two is, as I said, when we are doing this webinar workshop, you may have a specific questions, right? Something maybe about your background, about any specific topic. But I would say, in spite of adding questions in between, just hold on with your question, note down your question, and at the end, we'll be having a specific Q&A where I will be answering all your questions, not later on, today itself. Okay, so do we all okay? Do we all agree with this working agreement to get start? If yes, if it makes sense, type A if for agree in the chat box, and then we'll get start with today's workshop, today's agenda. Yes, no, agreed, makes sense. Okay, and I would say let's make it interactive in spite of me generally me only speaking, although it's in the webinar mode. But I want you to be 100% here. I want you to get the maximum outcome, and that's only possible when you are responding. If you be just silence, it's not going to work. So, do we all in sync? Agreed with this? Okay. All right, super. So, thanks for confirmation. And yes, it makes sense. Let's proceed further. So first thing first, who is a product owner? Okay. So in fact, I would say before I go on further and start going on the deep on the content wide, I would like to understand from you something about you, understanding my audience, so that accordingly I can craft the content. In the chat box, you have to respond just two things. Number one is how much total year of experience you have and your current job role. For example, let's say I have 5 year experience, I'm a QA, then just type 5 QA. Someone having 7 year or 10 year or whatever, you are in sales, marketing, just your role you can type with the total year of experience. Okay, so that it will help me to understand. Okay, so 7 dev, okay, 7 year experience and developer role. And everyone, let's make it interactive because once I know you, accordingly, I can craft the content as well. Okay. Okay, 10 plus. And what is your job role? That also you can type. What is your current role? What you do? Okay, okay, Scrum Master with 14 year of IT experience. Siddharth also as a Scrum Master. Okay, all right. 9 QA. Okay, all right, good. Good to have you all here. And everyone, let's make it interactive. You can add here just your total year of experience and your current job role. Okay. So here Sandhya says 13 years in IT and 5 years as a Scrum Master. All right. Okay. Uh, 7 year Java developer. Okay. All right. Poonam. Okay, all right, super. So good to see. Okay, so I can see most of the folks here are from IT background. So that's good to know. By the way, it doesn't matter you're from IT, you're not from IT. So any job role person can transition in the PO job role that anyway we'll talk about little later. Okay, so here we go. One second. Okay, so here we go. So again, first thing first is what a PO does. Okay, so if we talk about the job role responsibility of a PO, what PO is going to do. So simple way I do relate here is if you see just the name, the title itself, what it says. Okay, so here we go. Let me make my pen enabled. Okay, so if you see here what it says, someone who is honor and honor of what? It says what? Honor of the product. That's what a product honor is all about. Now think about what a honor does. Honor means decision maker, someone who makes decision. And listen about what in this context is about the product. So imagine that we want to build a product. So any product, whatever you want to build, it's software, hardware, or so. So yes, we must need to have someone who can decide the feature, something about the functionality, what exactly it should have, how it should look like, and the dynamics of it. And that is what you can say in a layman term, if we talk about is the PO is all about someone who makes decision about the product. So, in fact, what we say the core value, the crux of the product on a job role is one thing. And what we say here is PO is someone who is responsible for maximizing the product value. If you have to build the product, what all functionalities, what is something features we can add in the product that this product is going to come what? A world-class product. So, in fact, when I talk about a Scrum team perspective, so what we say here is we do have a three role. One is what is the Scrum Master. So what SM does, when I talk about Scrum Master, the core, the crux of the Scrum Master over here, it's someone who is going to make sure that my team is able to perform at highest level of efficiency. That's what a SM job role is all about. And when you talk about the PO job role is to make sure that I am able to get the maximum value from what? This product. And that's what PO is having a product mindset, thinking, working on something that we can get the maximum outcome of the product and so. In other way, if I talk about what a PO does, so PO, you can say someone, again, a layman term, you can relate it. So going to act as a bridge between the business and development. What exactly it mean? So PO represents the business that yes, this is what is something my customer, my end users are looking for. And developers are someone who is going to do the job on the ground. So that is what is going to act as a bridge, making sure the business expectation is raised, we are able to deliver. And for that, again, whatever developers need any specific clarity, what they need to do, doing the prioritization, and so that's what is PO is going to do. Now, further, the next question comes, okay, fine, I understood. Anyway, I'm a Scrum Master, I'm a developer. I do interact with the product owner day by day. But what is the future of this job role? Do we have the enough job opportunities? What is scope of this job role going to be in the market? So again, on that crux, if you're someone from IT, then definitely you can relate. Wherever the development, the software development is happening, definitely there will be what again developers who are going to the job, and when the development is happening, there must be someone who can decide what need to be done. So any company who is following, let's say, Agile or following Scrum, say for any specific Agile framework, they must need to have the product owner. They must need to have definitely SM as well. And that's why you see here, this is a job role which is certainly high in demand. And nowadays, in fact, if you see the trend, so gone is the time that whatever you want, you can build, you can give to the customer. Now, customers are someone who are the decision maker. And that's why we need someone who can understand the customer dynamics. So we need someone who can understand what exactly is the problem customers are facing and how we can solve the problem by adding what so functionalities. And that's where the demand of this job role is increasing day by day. Further is again when you say here, so AI powered product management. So now lot of product, in fact, any product you see, there is a specific use case of the AI. And that's what we say here is AI powered product management. As a product owner, you should be able to understand the use case of AI as well in this job role. Further over here is about strategic business, you can say involvement, remote and global teams. That's what also is going to be. So because nowadays it's all about gig economy, so the teams are spread across multiple geography, and that's where also this role becomes much more vital. And further, if you talk about when you start working as a PO, so starting with product discovery, doing some analysis, and you need to have a business acumen. Plus, as AI is something that we can't you know we can't say no to it. It's any job role, it's part of it. And that's what having a good idea on the prompt engineering also is what required. So gone is the time, the traditional PO, that I'm a PO, my job is just to write user story, give it the thing. No, it's the role is evolving beyond that. And when you are someone who is willing to transition in the product on a job role, you need to make sure that you are going in the right direction. You are upskilling yourself with the right thing, that yes, you are able to be a great PO. So the definition is, one thing is, okay, a good PO and a great PO. What is the key difference between these two? Especially in today's time, in the time of AI, something that you have to be, go on the top level. First thing first is, this job role itself is all about the product owner, someone who is going to own the product. So you need to have a product thinking, a mindset of the product. So how to make sure this product is going to add value to the customer. And that's what we say is product thinking. Later on, in the core, the crux of it, we see the design thinking, empathy mapping, working on the customer persona, right? So customer journey, customer mapping, user journey mapping. So all those skill set is what you need to have. Next one is a product you are building, not for yourself, for your customer. And you will able to build a right product for the customer only and only when you have a customer empathy, a deep understanding of your customer. Who are they? What is the pain point they are facing? And what to do so that the problem we are able to solve here. Next one is a good idea on prioritization. So again, we use Moscow, we use the WSJF model. There are various techniques. So you need to have good understanding of value trade-off. As in, so something, a new request is going to come. So do we really need to work on that right now, or we should do it later? So again, having that kind of decision making. Further is communication skill is something that you can't say no or can't compromise, because this job role is a customer facing. As well as a PO, you are going to communicate with your customer, with your end user sometime, the management, and a lot of communication within the team. So definitely communication is the key. Without this, nothing is feasible. And decision making is various time on the spot you need to make a decision. Mostly it can be about prioritization, go, no go, about release, going ahead or not going now. We have to postpone it or we have to do it right now, or maybe staggered release. So a decision making acumen is what is required to be a pro in this job. Next one is okay, looks good. But if I am going to start my journey as a product owner, or let's say as a product manager, where I will be, how this stands, what is the step going to be in this? Okay. So first thing first is, when someone is going to start the journey, you start your journey as a product analyst. And by the way, the product analyst is something you can say the entry level role. Someone who is just college pass out or having 1 year, 2 year experience, they start working as a product analyst. If you are aware about the BA job or business analyst, something like you can relate with the product analyst job. Next one over here is After the PA, the product analyst, you become associate product owner, then product owner job role. Next role is going to be then the senior product owner. And then you will be entering in the management side as a product manager, senior product manager, group product manager, and chief product officer. So this is what is, you can say, the track going to be in the terms of what? Experience and so. But question is, let's say I am 10-year experienced person. Already I have a 10-year experience. When I want to transition in the product on or product management, is it I will be starting my journey from here? The answer is no. I just said earlier, product analyst is kind of an entry-level job. So how much experience PO is, the product analyst will be having? Something, let's say, maybe around 2 to 3 year experience, not more than that. Same thing over here. If I have to write about the product owner, someone you can say is about 4 to 8 year. Again, depends on company. Something let's say 7 to 10 year and 10 plus. In fact, some company they do offer about the product manager 7 to 12 or 15 year of experience. Okay. Then after 15 plus product manager and so this is what is something you can say is. So if you are someone who had already let's say a 5 year, 7 year or 10 year experience, then you're not going to start from here. Your previous experience also will be certainly counted and you will be starting here from this job role, the product owner. That's how is the entry level to be going to be here, where you are going to enter in this entire circle. Next thing over here is okay, fine, but when I do start working as a PO in the product domain, so how much number salary is something what I can expect here. So the good news is the product management pays much more, much better salary than any other domain or department you can say. Average package of a product owner or product management person is going to be something between 2x to 5x of the total experience you do have. Now, question is, what exactly it mean by 2x to 5x? So simple analogy over here is something you can say like whatever experience you do have. So it's simple here is let's say you are 10-year experience, a 10-year experience who is working as a PO, or let's say you want to enter in this. So in this job role, you can expect something around 20 to 50 LPA. So in fact, when I left my corporate journey something around 2.5 year back, so on that time I was working as a senior product owner in one of the company like UST Global, a product domain of the UST Global, and with something I would say 23 was the year when I left the job, right? So on that time, so I was getting around 40 LPA package. So if you can with that just you can relate it here, like I said, 2 to 5 year 5x of your total experience. It's something what you can relate with this. Okay. So but by the way, just to check before we proceed further from here, for how many of you this number looks good? That yes, if I am able to get a job with this 2x to 5x range of my total experience, that's a good number. If this number looks good, this number looks interesting, this number looks motivating for you, type G for good in the chat box. That yes, this something is what is also my target and I'm looking for it. Why I'm asking this question? Let's say I have 10-year experience and my package is 70 LPA. In case if it is, then this job role is not for you. All right. So 10-year person, same thing here. Let's say I have 12-year experience. So 12-year means around 24 to again 50, 60 is the job range. A package range, what you can expect from this. Okay. So this is what is the trend right now in the industry. And with time, it's going to be because if you see simple objective here is uh, service-based company and product-based companies. By the way, from your understanding, which kind of company, service or product, which pays more? You can type in the chat box S or P, whatever is your understanding. Which organization, service based or product based, which do pay more? All right, so good. Okay, so fairly, okay, so yes, definitely the product-based company who is going to pay more. Okay, why so? Because again, they are having their own product. So it's not like they're going to outsource it to someone. So again, when you're working in a service-based company, again, money comes from the product-based company to the service-based company. And over here, you're directly in the product company. So definitely you're going to get much better pay here. Okay, so now good thing is, as it's a good paying job role. So going back to the previous discussion, how is the market? Do we have do a good enough of jobs in the market? And for this, I would say, in spite of me saying that yes, there are jobs, there are many more jobs or so. Let's do a quick search where on the Naukri portal. In fact, before I do go on any portal, right? So would like to understand from you, whenever you have to do a job search, which all sites you go and you refer it. Do type in the chat box name of the sites which you do prefer to go for job search. Okay. So yes, Naukri. Okay. All right. Okay. What about others? Okay. So Naukri, LinkedIn, Naukri. Okay. Naukri, LinkedIn. Yeah. So definitely these are the two major job roles. If you talk about the Indian market where you go. So what I'm going to do is let's go quickly and see how is the job market doing right now. So as you said, I am going to work on here is the Naukri. Okay. And let me do search something here as product what? Honor. I'm not adding any experience here and no any location, just high level open search I'm doing here. It says product owner. Okay. So Google Analytics product owner, SEL technology. Mercedes is hiring for the product owner 1 day back, 9 year to 14 year. Azero is hiring product owner 10 to 14 year. Accenture is hiring a lot. Again, same thing, agents, chief product owner or product manager, 13 to 17 year experience, 10 to 20 year, you can see a product owner, again, job role. There are a lot more jobs are there. In fact, let me do something here. I'm just going to apply a filter, and filter is last 7 days. How many job has been posted? It says around 14,000 plus jobs. And again, you can see these are the companies who are again fresh jobs, what I can see here. Further, if I go on LinkedIn, as you said, so here, let's go on the LinkedIn. And here, same thing, what I'm going to do here is product owner, job, product owner in jobs. Yes, that's correct. That's what I'm looking for. And here, if we go, okay. So here you can see 99 plus jobs in where? In the greater Bangalore area. In fact, if I see here, let's say here past 24 hours, or let's say past week, how many jobs are there? So product owner. So here it's showing again same thing, 99 plus jobs, what you can see here. Product owner. Again, whenever product owner, product manager, or any job role which require this kind of skill set is what's showing you here. Okay, so this is showing for let's say a specific location. Again, if I keep on searching here for Delhi, for let's say Pune, Hyderabad, or any specific countries, you will able to see a lot more opportunities in this. Okay, so again, the crux, the message, what I want to showcase you over here is that yes, if you're someone who is willing to transition in this job role, there are a lot of opportunities. It's not like limited, there are a lot. You just need to have a specific structured approach, and definitely you will be able to land up in the PO job role. Okay, so with this note, let's proceed further. And next, where we go. Okay, so next thing is what a PO does. Let's say if I'm someone who is going to and looks good, it's a good paying job, there is demand also in the market. But when I am going to be in the PO shoes, what exactly is going to be my responsibility? What is going to be my activities here? First thing first is, as a product owner, you need to have a product mindset, and that's what is you need to define what the product vision. So, what is a product vision? Again, in the interest of time, if I have to just summarize in a specific word or so, you can say is what is the long-term aspect, what we are trying to achieve with this product. So product vision is a just some couple of lines, or mostly we use one line statement. Although it's not done by the PO, mostly the product manager does, but you as a product owner going to be much more instrumental, and you must need to have a clarity on this. Next step over here is, as a product honor, you are going to decide what all features are required. And then the features, the requirement is there in the Jira or ADO, whatever tool you are using. So over there, so you are going to work on prioritization. So as in prioritization, as in something is what is something that my team need to do right now, working on the product roadmap. So prioritization needs backlog management, making sure that whatever product we are building, whatever requirements we are trying to release, and so it is something aligned with the customer need. It is also on the same time, it's aligned with the stakeholders, whatever my different stakeholders, whoever they are, and it is aligned with them. Next one over here is you as a Scrum Master going as a PO going to collaborate with the Scrum team, with the Scrum Master, with the developers, QA, everyone. If they do have any specific question, if they do have any specific clarification, you are the one going to solve the queries. That's what you are going to do. Next one over here is if I talk about in a Scrum team perspective, you're going to own the backlog item, how many requirements we do have, setting the prioritization, clarifying those. And that's what we discussed earlier. As a product owner in a Scrum team perspective, you are interface between the customer, the stakeholder, and here is your developers. So in between, you are placed making sure things are aligned here. Okay. So next one on this context, some misconception. What is that? Number one is that PO must be technical. Again, the point over here is as a product owner, it's not a technical job role. So I'm someone who is not from a development background. Can I be a product owner? Absolutely yes. PO is not about technical, rather, it's about a product mindset. So you need to develop the product mindset, you need to develop the product thinking, customer empathy, and definitely you can be. PO is someone who can write, who should write the user story. This is the one-off job of the product owner, but not all. So again, like Scrum Master job is not all only about scheduling the meeting of facilitation. A lot more ASM does. There is one component. Same way writing, detailing your story is one of the component. Much more than that. As a PO, you're gonna do. PO is the boss of the team. No, PO is also just part of a team, and is having a product mindset, making sure team is not having any ambiguity in the understanding of the product. They're able to understand the product, they are able to do the job. And if they have any specific questions, clarification, as a PO, I'm going to resolve, help the team to understand and so right now as a PO, how the day of a product owner look like. So simple aspect, if you are in any job role, first thing first, what you do is I do start my day by checking the emails. If there is something important from my team, from my customer, going through that. Checking the email, there's a daily stand-up schedule, you'll be participating. And then after any specific team members, they need any specific questions, clarification, you will be working. Apart from it, on high level, you can divide your time in three segments. Number one is on the team wise. Number two is your stakeholder wise, the person to whom you are reporting. And third one is your individual, your own contribution. The first you start with the team perspective. So your team need any clarity or so that you're gonna do. Second thing, any specific event, any specific meeting, which is for the team. Let's say either it's your daily stand-up meeting, it's your specific sprint event, scrum event, you are going to join those meetings. And the second one is about perspective of what? The customer. So again, as a product owner, you are going to interact with the customer. You're going to interact with the stakeholder to understand their need. For that, there may be a specific meeting you is scheduled, or you may have scheduled. You're going to join those meeting, understanding how is the requirement, what is something that they are happy, not happy, what is their expectation. And third aspect from here, the next journey from here is going to be your own contribution. Because PO is not a management job, rather it's an own contribution. You are working as an individual contributor. So working on the backlog item, doing some refinement, working on detailing of the user stories. That's what you will be doing. Plus, let's say you have to update the roadmap, you have to plan for release, how many stories, how much work is required for upcoming release. So those kind of decision or this kind of communication as well is what you are going to do here. So that's what, as I just said, three phase you can make it. Number one is on a team perspective. Number two is stakeholder perspective. And number third one is what is your own work, something that what you have to do as a product owner job. Okay. So again, as a PO product owner, this is something is your space, product backlog, where you have to do the work and so. So what we say is the product backlog is simple as your ordered list of everything needed in the product. Simple example, if I talk about is every year when we do start right now, let's say we are in the second month and so end of that time. So when you start a new year, you set some resolution that this year 2026, I want to travel XYG. I want to go to Goa, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to, let's say, some XYG, Dubai country. I want to get a better job. I want to get a hike. I want to make a change. Maybe you have some goal about your personal life, maybe health, wealth. I want to lose weight. I want to gain weight. I want to earn much more money. I want to save money. I want to buy something. So many things you have listed, right? Now, but is it possible that everything you will able to do in a day, in a week? No, it will take time. So first you need to have a list of your wish, and that wish list what you do have. Same thing if you try to relate that if you are someone who is going to build a product, what is something you're wishing to do it in the product, and that is what is your product backlog in layman term over here we talked about. Next thing we say is this is something which evolve with time. What exactly it mean? So possible I had a goal that this year I want to travel, let's say, to Dubai, but later on, my priority may change. I say, hey, no, not now. My friends are going, or my spouse is saying, hey, not Dubai, we want to go to Bali. So priority may change. So again, let's say there was a plan that on my birthday I'm going to travel to X destination. Now it has changed. That's what is priorities evolve. And same way over here, the requirement also. Now the trend has changed. Something AI component my competitors has launched. And I also need to make sure that my product also has the similar kind of component. And that's what product backlog is not a fixed or rigid. It evolves with time. And same thing is as a name such as product backlog. Backlog is in what? To-do list. To-do list for what? The product. So over here, this product backlog is something which is owned by you. You as in the PO, the product owner. What you're going to do, what you're going to own here. So then after, as a product owner, you're going to write your story. In the interest of time, will not go in detail on this. These all are anyway the operational stuff, writing the user stories, doing some documentation you'll be doing. Plus, as a product owner, you write the requirement, and your job is to make sure my team understand those requirement. And that's why we do a specific activity to that. We call it as a backlog refinement. Backlog refinement as in adding the required details over there, explaining it to the team. That's what we do. And further, one of the major job which you only have to do, and what is that is prioritization. As in, when we talk about prioritization, so there are various techniques. Is it like I need to do follow everyone? No. Any one of the technique which you feel aligned, and this is something that your stakeholders are also aware about, you are going to follow. It can be something about Moscow. What we say is must have, should have, could have, want have. And also we do have WSJF, what we say weighted, sorted, job first. And also we have Kano model, there's a stack ranking, there's $100 test. There are a lot more techniques are there. But usually if you talk about these two are quite good enough and also important for your interview aspect, what you should be aware about. Because this is something that you can't outsource. Writing the user story, you can get it done through some tools. Writing the user story, maybe your team also can help you, but prioritization is one decision that you need to make it with yourself. Setting the priority, what is going to be in the sprint, what is going to be in the next release, and so. Okay, what about tools? So yes, any job role, you will be using certain tools. So as a product owner, you will be using tools like, it may be something like Jira, Trello, or any tool, or maybe ADO or so. So these all are what, let's say, product board, there's a Miro, these are the tools. Apart from it, there are certain tools which is going to be cool. Let's say you may have to design certain wireframes. So for this, you'll be using maybe Balsamiq. You may be using something like Figma. These are the tools you will be using here. Okay. So by the way, again, either if you talk about Jira, Confluence, or anyway, it's quite common in the tracking of the deliverables, writing the user story, making a track of it. That's what happened. Apart from it, tools, something on AHA is for the product roadmap creation. Balsamiq, Figma are the tools is creating for specific designs. UX designs is what you will be creating here. Okay. So this is something is what you will be doing, working on the roadmap. What we say is the roadmap is something about your strategic plan, why and when. So earlier talk about vision. Vision is something what exactly I'm looking for. Okay. So that's a vision where I want to be in the next 3 year, 5 year. How to achieve that vision? For this, I need to have a strategy, and that strategy is what is my roadmap. For example, vision is, or let's say my goal is something, I want to be a chief product officer. That's a one line statement, what I do have. Now, how I will be able to do it? I must need to have a roadmap. Let's say I'm just going to transition from a QA, from a Scrum Master to the product role. Can I be directly on this? Answer is no. So I'll be setting a goal that by next 5 year, I want to be on that role. And for this, my first goal is to transition as a product owner. Then I will be next 3 year product manager. Then I want to be XYG. Roadmap is something, is a milestone, you can say in a layman term. And to achieve this roadmap also, some specific action item, what exactly I need to do. That is what we say is here, what and how to achieve this. And that's what you will be doing here. Okay. So then after you write your story, there's something like your story mapping. Okay. And as a Scrum Master, if you talk about any Agile event or any specific Scrum event, if you talk about, you have a specific role. Okay. So for example, let's say when I talk about sprint planning, what is something that you have to do as a product owner? So everyone has a different role. As a Scrum Master, you will, as a PO, you are going to be there to define, to set the clarity that what should be the sprint goal. Define the goal, also the backlog item, whatever team needs some clarity. In daily stand-up meeting, not mandatory, but yes, you are going to be there as an observer, team needs clarity. Right after that, you can provide the clarity. Then we have a sprint review meeting. So over there, the PO job is to gather feedback. Now think about this sprint review is not for you to give the review. You already aware about those. You already seen that features or requirement. You have invited your stakeholders who are going to be there, and you are going to gather feedback how your customer, your stakeholders are looking for. Retrospective is not much important for you. Again, as I'm going to facilitate, but yes, you can also participate as a Scrum team member. And this is what is a critical event for you as a backlog refinement where you're going to lead the discussion, making sure that team is able to understand the requirement because you are someone who has the ownership of the product, of the requirement you have written, and you need to make sure that they really understand it. Okay. So this is something is about the roles. Now, some NT patterns. NT pattern as in what as a PO you must should be doing, but you're not doing. One, the key aspect here is absent PO. Absent PO as in, as a product owner, I'm just coming as a guest in the sprint planning meeting and the review meeting, then I'm disappeared. No, PO is a team level job role. So PO must be very much approachable to the team. Why? Now imagine, let me start writing here. Okay, so imagine that you are a product owner and here is your sprint team had this sprint planning meeting and decided to work on certain requirements. Third day or fourth day, one of developer is looking for some clarity, functional clarity. Who is supposed to give? You, the PO. But this developer approached this person, you, and you're not available. Now, this PO, this developer rather, has two options. Number one, as a developer, I think when PO was saying, PO was minting by this. I assume something and I further proceed. Option number one. Option number two is stop doing that work and I will jump on other thing. If I stop, can you deliver it? No. When I assume something, possible whatever I assume, it was good, it was right. Okay, it's good. But possible, whatever I assume, it was not. Now in the review meeting, you're saying, hey, this is not what I was looking for. Can you do it something differently? Or why not you did this? And it means is expectation mismatch, which means redoing the work. And definitely in this context, what is going to be here is rework means extra time, extra money that we are going to waste here. And that is why the PO is required to be the part of team approachable. Over detailed stories, writing too much technical aspect also you do this. No, you are a functional guy, just define the functionality. Micromanagement, who is the developer, who is working on which? No, not required. You are a product person, you take care of the product side of it. And the very wrong pattern for a PO is ignoring the feedback. You got some feedback from your customer or from a stakeholder, but you're not bothered. You have not informed to your team. If you're not informing, they will not able to correct that. And definitely it will be keep on getting added here. So these are some NT patterns here when you work as a product owner. And that's what we say is product owner is what someone who is a collaborative person. Okay, so there is a acronym also used for this, for the PO job role. And what is that? How it goes is, let me write. Okay, so crack. So crack is what the acronym, not crack means not a mental crack, I'm saying, just it's an acronym to imagine, to relate with the product owner job role. C is one is what we say collaborative, as in the product owner, you're an individual contributor, but you collaborate with a stakeholder. You're someone who is going to collaborate with the team as well. R for responsible. So you need to someone who is need to take care the various responsibility. Okay. A is for what is something is approachable. So team that PO must be approachable. That's what we discuss about. Okay. And C over here is someone who is again going to discuss with the team and going to correlate, collaborate. And on the same time, as a product owner, you are someone who is deeply working on the specific requirement. And also is K stand for what? Knowledgeable. So you need to have a collaborative approach. You need to make sure that you are approachable and you're having knowledge of the product much more than anyone else. That is what is crack is all about. Okay. Now the next thing is what you're going to talk about in quickly next few minutes is if you're someone who is approaching for the PO job role, the product owner job role. So, certain tips which is going to help you to crack the interview. First thing first is the product owner job role is about product focused. So, you need to develop something, a style, what we say is storytelling. So, whenever any specific question is asked, relate it with your current project. And that yes, in my current product, what I am working on, talk with certain functionality, talk with a specific use case of it. So once you talk with the example, the audience, the interview, they will able to relate with your answer in much better way. Second one is use metrics when explained impact. For example, let's say I did this, which helped to increase the productivity by 10%. When I joined this product, so on that time, the download of the app was XYG. And again, we launched certain feature which has increased in 20% download of the application. It has increased the usability of the product by a specific percentage. Always talk about numbers. This is what everyone is looking for. Second one is whenever you talk about, let's say, product, you have to think about the problem statement. Its product is not about the feature, what value it's going to add in the customer life. So I am working on this feature which is solving XYG problem. And next one over here is be prepared with the product example. Always have a example. So in spite of giving theoretical example, theory, or giving the definition, talk about the real example, the product, some specific scenario, example of your stakeholder. Let's say some example who was where you got a team who was not listening, or let's say something that there are multiple product stakeholders in your product, and what was the problem with that? What approach you followed, which has helped you to solve the problem, right? Something about the real use case is what you, if you are able to do, then you will be able to crack the interview in a faster pace. Next is what I'm going to talk about is if you're someone who is willing to transition in the PO job role. So what should be your transition roadmap from here? Okay, so if you want to know this, before this, I go and start explaining, would like to understand how many of you are willing to transition in the PO job role. If you're someone who is willing to transition in this PO job role, type me in the chat box. Okay, so if this role looks interesting to you, that yes, this is something what is my target. I want to get transition in next 3 months, 6 months. It's my goal. Type me in the chat box. Okay, sparring product honors. Okay, AA, Siddharth, Somesh. Okay, Rajni. Yes, sparring product honors. Only few numbers I can see. What about others? Don't want to transition. Okay, I can see much more. All right. So if you're someone who is willing to transition in the pure job role, so now is it like how I can do? I don't have any experience in this job role. So I just said it doesn't matter what is your current job role. You just need to have a a goal that yes, you are someone who want to transition, and there's a problem. Always I say there is a solution. So what to do in this case? First thing first is when you have to transition have or develop a product mindset. How to do it? Now, think about any product, any software, whatever you are using. Imagine, let's say, simply you're using Zoom, you're using WhatsApp, any application. So think about a general question. If I have to, let's say, I'm someone who's working as a product owner, what additional feature we can add in this product, which is going to help the customer? What is feature that may not be required, but it's there? What is something a feature that maybe we can do something in a different way? So always start thinking in that direction. Then you need to have what a deeper understanding of agile and scrum because the pure job role exists in the agile space. So without this, you can't go on this job role. Then after understanding the customer and the market needs, that's what we say is design thinking, working on the empathy map, customer persona, design thinking concept you need to learn. Then working on some capstone project, as in imagine that you have to build a product, something like Uber, like Ola, like Zepto, any product. Okay. And then you will be creating certain PRDs, product requirement document, what a documentation PO does, what is the strategy, working on the communication plan, working on the release plan. So couple of projects you can just do it by your own. So once you do it, you will able to uh, something think from a product owner perspective. And when you have to give the answer, you will able to relate it in a better way. Next one is uh, any question, interview question. The good thing is in this interview, the product owner, it's not a tick role. So the questions are quite limited, various scenario, but specific scenarios are there. So those scenario, every question, you must need to have some answer, which is something about the a product example. You should be preparing for it. Then after having a CV, which is ATS friendly, and list down the question answer, as I said, limited question, you just need to work around and on that only. One, once you are able to do it, the next thing over here is apply for the job. As you saw in the beginning, there are hundreds of jobs, there are thousands of jobs. There is no lack of the job. You just need to approach it in the right way, and definitely you will be able to clear the interview. You'll be able to get the job. Okay. So next is something what I'll be doing is any specific questions you do have. We will be taking the question. I'll be taking the questions just in some time. But before that, I just said here in the beginning, what I do love is I love to help people who are willing to transition. And in the last around 3 years, I have helped 300 plus folks in transitioning in the Scrum Master, product owner, all about agility space is what I do help people. So I do have a specific program. What I say is product owner job oriented training program, which is designed in a way that anyone from any background can transition in the PO job role. Okay, so is it okay if I can quickly talk about how I can help you in this career transition journey, or how you can be part of our community where we can work together and you can achieve your goal in a fast track way? Do you want to know about the program? If yes, type me in the chat box and quickly I will explain you what is something we can do together so that you are able to get the result in a fast track way. All right, yes, thank you. So how it works is, yes, we'll take the question a little later. Next 5 minutes, we'll take the Q&As here. So if you are someone who want to, transition in this job role, the first thing first is about what I do is I have a customized program, which is all about giving you all the insight about Scrum Master, about the PO job role. So first we do start in the training program. Content-wise, there's no any prerequisite. We do start with the basics of agility concept, basics of Scrum, understanding Scrum framework in detailed way. Then after developing the product mindset, then after next step over here is whatever as a PO you have to work on deliverables, documentation, you'll be learning those. Whatever you need to develop the mindset, you'll be working. Then after certain tools you need to be aware about, like I just said, Jira, Confluence, much more than that is AHA, something like let's say the Balsamic, wireframing tools, how to build your expertise, you're going to learn. And then after we'll be doing certain capstone project as well, as that is what is going to give you a deeper understanding of it. So you're going to learn that also. And how it works is entire program, it's something around 60 hours in total, if you talk about. In the 60 hours, around 15, 20 hours is about Scrum, around 20 plus hours is all about the product mindset, and 20 hours is on the tool side, where Jira, Confluence, Balsamic, any other tools which are required, you're going to learn here. So everything on a tool side, on a Scrum side, on a product side, whatever you are supposed to, will be doing. Plus, we'll be having a detailed 5 hours of mock interview preparation here in a way that you are able to not only understand, rather you will be getting opportunity to speak on that, which is going to helpful for you. This is how you can say program is going to be. The program is mostly going to be around 2.5 months in duration. So we are going to start a batch from tomorrow, which is the timing is 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., 1 hour every day, weekday batch, what we do have here. And then after the program is completed, beyond that also, you will be getting lifetime community support. So every week I do conduct session, something like Ask Me Anything or some hackathon you will be doing. So over there, any questions you do have, you come, you ask, and we'll be helping you on that. So in a way, crux is whatever support you need in a way to get the transition, we are going to help you that.